This is what we're working on today. So this is a really fun pillow that I did recently, and what it is I had an orphan block and I wanted to use it in something. It didn't go in the quilt. And so I decided I was going to make a pillow. Now it made a really nice 12-inch pillow, and you can see I did it with Big Stitch, which was super fun and fast. And I even did, I used the envelope system because I like it. It's easier than doing zippers, it's faster. And I also Big Stitched this too. So I Big Stitched that in a matching. And then this one I did in contrast here. Well, both of them I did contrast the white on the red and the red on the white. So let's get to it. So I decided to choose an orphan block that had come from one of my recent quilts. Here it is. And this is what I'm going to use to make a pillow. I'm going to cut 2.5-inch strips for my border, because I know, because I have measured the orphan block and the pillow, and that's going to come out to about 12.5 to 13 inches. And that's the size I want it to be for me to be able to stuff it with a regular sized pillow form. Now for this project, I'm going to use some 1/4-inch tape. What this is, it is to tape to your machine. The red line should be directly in front of your foot, where your needle is coming down. That way you can have a blue line on either side that is 1/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm checking to make sure that needle's in the center, and then on the left hand side, that's the line that I'm going to be moving my fabric across in order to create a perfect 1/4 inch seam. So on to batting and backing. Now I do have a piece that I'm going to use for the backing of this pillow top. Now it doesn't matter what fabric you use for the backing of the pillow top, because that is going to be inside the pillow. You will not see that. And so you can use any scrap you like. And then I needed to piece some batting together because I wanted to use up some of my scraps. So I'm just measuring out here to see where do they fit. And using my backing fabric just to let me to easily just see if it'll fit. Once I lay that tape down, one side has little bumpy marks on it. That's the adhesive, and all I do is press that with a iron. So now we're going to create the quilt sandwich. So I've decided to use a red polka dot for my backing of this because it is a scrap. Then I'm going to lay down my batting, and now I'm laying down my block, my pillow cover. And I'm going to use my basting gun for basting it. You can use pins or a basting gun. I just really like this tool because it's very fast, as you can see. And I like to place these so that they are no farther than my hand's width apart. In a project this small, it's really not going to be a big deal because nothing's going to shift on you. It's a pretty small project. So I'm quickly going to just go over Big Stitch and how it works. I'm going to show you how to start and end a thread. So right now I'm going to end one. And I'm taking a couple stitches. I'm going to end with a back stitch. When I place my needle in between the layers, I am going to push my needle over to the side. This is in the batting layer only. You can see it there. Pull it through, and then I'm going to snip this thread. Now the tail that is left underneath is really all you need to secure that thread. I've used this method a lot. Now we're going to I'll show you how to start a thread. You pull through, and you're going to leave a tail. Let's start again. I'm going to leave a little tail that is showing. So I'm from the side, I pull in, doesn't matter where I go in from the side, but I start in line with a back stitch. Now I'm simply going to move forward from that back stitch, and that's how we change the thread. Big stitch is simply going in and out. I'm going to put parallel lines on this. Let's clip that thread, but I am using 3 strands of embroidery floss. And here's the back. You can see that I have big stitched it into straight lines, and now I'm going to be just trimming off the edge to square up the backing. Now I'm going to finish squaring this up, and then I'm going to measure it because we need 2 pieces for the backing. It's a 12-inch quilt, so we actually need 2 pieces that are 9 inches. And so that's what I'm doing now, is I'm creating one side that's 9 inches for the backing, and I will need the second side that's 9 inches for the backing. And I'll show you how we're going to assemble those. So the next step is I'm going to take those 2 back pieces, and on one edge I'm going to simply fold over once. This is a very simple design. I'm going to fold over, and I'm going to sew this, fold it over roughly 1/4 inch, a little bit more. Now you can zigzag the edge of this before you fold it over. I didn't do it on this one, but I probably will on the next one. But once you zigzag that edge, just to finish it, we're folding this over, sewing this all the edge all the way. We're going to do that on both backing pieces on just one long edge. And now we're ready to assemble the top and the backing. So right sides together. You can see here are my backing pieces. I'm going to overlap them 3 inches. So I am going to lay down the top, and then with the right sides together, I'm going to put the pieces down. You'll see that the edge that I folded under goes to the middle, and again, same thing here. The edge I folded under goes to the middle. That will create the envelope. And you can see that this has been big stitched, both pieces. So there's 1 piece. And 2 pieces, and then you're going to pin this, and you're going to be sewing all the way around the entire quilt. You do not need to leave an opening because turning it will be done through the envelope. And so now that has been sewn on all edges, I'm going to go ahead and trim off just to tidy it up. All right, taking the pins out, and now we are ready to turn this inside out. You just reach in that window like I just did, pull it out, make sure that you get those corners punched out nice and crisp. And here is our pretty pillow top ready to put that pillow form in. And there you have it. So take your orphan blocks and put them to good use. These are awfully fun for gifts for yourself or your friends.